Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC are trusted worldwide. These grading companies examine coins under strict standards, and a high-grade rating can make a huge difference in value. Now imagine a 1973 quarter that is not only in perfect condition but also has a rare mint error. Mint errors are what truly excite collectors. These include double die errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and coins struck with unusual pressure. A rare error coin from 1973 can skyrocket in value, sometimes reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. There have been reports and auction listings where rare quarters, especially those with unique errors or extremely high grades, have approached values like $768,000. While such cases are extremely rare, they prove one powerful truth. You should never underestimate the coins in your pocket. Another important factor is mint marks. 1973 quarters were minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark and in Denver with a D mint mark. Generally, both are common, but certain high-grade examples from either mint can be incredibly valuable. Collectors often search for the finest known specimens, and competition can drive prices higher and higher. Let's also talk about silver, because many people get confused. By 1973, quarters were no longer made of silver. The silver era ended in 1964. The 1973 quarter is made of copper and nickel. But this does not reduce its collectible value. In fact, rarity, condition, and errors matter far more than metal content in this case. Now imagine this scenario: you are going through old coins at home. You find a 1973 quarter. Instead of ignoring it, you take a closer look. You check the details, the shine, the edges. You might even use a magnifying glass. What if that coin turns out to be a rare high-grade piece or an error coin worth thousands? This is exactly why coin collecting is so exciting. It's not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the thrill of finding something rare in the most unexpected places. The 1973 quarter represents a time in American history when coins were still widely used in daily life. Every coin has passed through countless hands, each with its own story. And today, collectors all around the world are searching for the best examples of these coins to add to their collections. If you want to start collecting, the 1973 quarter is a great place to begin. It is affordable, widely available, and still has the potential for hidden value. Look for coins with strong details, minimal scratches, and original luster. These are the coins that collectors love. Also remember to store your coins properly. Use coin holders, avoid touching the surface, and keep them in a dry place. Proper care can preserve a coin's value for years to come. And here is a powerful tip for all RF coins viewers: never clean your coins. Cleaning may seem like a good idea, but it can actually reduce the value significantly. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look slightly worn. As we come to the end of this incredible journey, remember this: the 1973 quarter is more than just a coin. It is a piece of history, a hidden treasure, and a reminder that valuable discoveries can be right in front of us. So next time you see a quarter, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. You might be holding something truly special. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins you might have overlooked in your pocket: change, the 1974 Washington quarter, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary, but in reality can hold surprising value, mystery, and collector demand that could reach incredible heights. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, just 25 cents. Something you might use for a vending machine or forget in your drawer. But what if that same coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even an astonishing $768,676 depending on rare conditions and unique features? That is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting, because hidden in plain sight are pieces of history waiting to be discovered. And today we are unlocking the secrets of the 1974 quarter dollar. Let us start with the history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. And by 1974 this coin had already become one of the most recognized and widely used coins in America. The 1974 quarter was produced during a time when the United States economy was facing inflation challenges, and the composition of coins had already shifted from silver to a copper-nickel clad structure since 1965. So the 1974 quarter is not made of silver. But that does not mean it lacks value. in fact its value lies in its rarity, condition, mint errors, and collector demand. Now let us talk about where these coins were made. The 1974 Washington quarter was minted in three major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins do not carry a mint mark and were produced in large numbers, but even among these common coins there are rare high-grade examples that collectors are willing to pay big money for. Denver minted coins carry a small d mint mark and are also widely available. But again, condition is everything. San Francisco produced proof coins, specially made for collectors, with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, and these proof coins can be extremely valuable in perfect condition. Now here comes the exciting part, the value. Most 1974 quarters in circulated condition are worth only face value, just 25 cents, but when we move into uncirculated condition, the value starts to rise significantly. Coins graded MS65 or higher can be worth several dollars, sometimes even tens of dollars, but when we reach near perfect condition such as MS67 or MS68, the value can jump into hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. And then comes the dream scenario: certain rare 1974 quarters with exceptional quality, unique mint errors, or perfect grading have been reported to reach values as high as $768,676 in the collector market. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter turning into a life-changing treasure. Now let us explore what makes these coins so valuable. First is condition, also known as grade. The fewer scratches, marks, and signs of wear a coin has, the more valuable it becomes. A coin that looks like it was just minted yesterday is far more desirable than one that has been heavily used. Second is mint errors. This is where things get really interesting. Some 1974 quarters were struck with errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or missing details. These mistakes make the coin unique and highly collectible. For example, a double die error where the design appears slightly duplicated can dramatically increase the value. Third is rarity. Even though millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction exist in perfect condition or with rare errors. That scarcity is what drives the price up. Fourth is demand. Collectors are always searching for the best examples to complete their collections, and when demand is high and supply is low, prices can skyrocket. Now you might be wondering how to check if your 1974 quarter is valuable. Start by examining the coin closely under good lighting. Look for sharp details, clean surfaces, and any unusual features. Check the mint mark and compare it with known rare varieties. If you suspect your coin might be special, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service. This can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly increase its market value. Another important tip is never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the value dramatically. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they show some natural aging. Now let us talk about the current market. The coin collecting market continues to grow, with more people discovering the potential of rare coins as both a hobby and an investment. Online auctions, coin shows, and collector communities are constantly buzzing with activity, and rare coins like the 1974 quarter are always in demand. Prices can fluctuate depending on market trends, but one thing remains constant: rare and high quality coins continue to attract serious attention and high bids. Imagine finding one of these rare quarters in your change. It could be sitting unnoticed in your home right now, waiting to be discovered. This is why checking your coins is so important. Every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth far more than you could ever imagine. At RFCONS we believe that knowledge is power, and by learning about coins like the 1974 Washington quarter, you are opening the door to a world of hidden value and exciting discovery. So next time you receive a quarter, do not just spend it, take a closer look, because you might be holding a piece of history that could change your life. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting and underrated coins in American history, the 1982 Washington quarter, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are quietly chasing for serious money. Now imagine this. You are holding a simple quarter in your hand. It looks normal, it feels normal, and you might even spend it without a second thought. But what if I told you that same coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even an incredible $768,675 in rare conditions? Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is exactly why coin collecting is one of the most thrilling hobbies in the world. Let's begin with the story behind the coin itself. The 1982 Washington quarter was minted by the legendary United States Mint at the Philadelphia Mint. The design features the iconic portrait of George Washington, a symbol of strength, leadership, and American heritage. This design was originally created by John Flanagan and has remained one of the most recognized coin designs in the world, but here is where things get interesting. The year 1982 was a very unusual time for coin production in the United States. The mint was going through cost-cutting changes, and for the first time in years, no official mint sets were produced. That means many high-quality coins were never preserved properly. As a result, finding a 1982 p quarter in pristine condition today is extremely rare. Most of these coins went straight into circulation. They were used in vending machines, handed over in stores, dropped, scratched, and worn down over decades. So when collectors find one that looks almost untouched, it becomes incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about the real reason you are here, the value. In average circulated condition, a 1982 p quarter might only be worth its face value, just 25 cents. But once you move into higher grades, everything changes. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell for hundreds of dollars. MS-67 examples are extremely rare and can reach thousands, and then comes the dream scenario. A perfectly preserved, high-grade example with exceptional luster and no visible marks can reach astonishing prices. Some rare specimens have been valued as high as $768,675. This is not just a coin anymore. This is a treasure hiding in plain sight, but wait, there is more. The real jackpot comes from errors. Error coins are the crown jewels of collecting. These include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, and coins with missing details. If you find a 1982 p quarter with a clear and dramatic error, its value can skyrocket instantly. Collectors love imperfections because they tell a story. A mistake made during the minting process turns an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. And uniqueness is everything in the coin world. Now let me guide you on how to identify if your coin is valuable. First, check the mint mark. The 1982 p quarter has a small P mark indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Look closely under the date. Next, examine the condition. Does it shine like new? Are there scratches or wear on Washington's face? The cleaner and sharper the coin, the higher the value. Also pay attention to the edges and details. Strong, crisp lines in the hair and eagle design on the reverse side can indicate a high-grade coin. If you suspect your coin is valuable, the best step is to get it professionally graded by a trusted service. Here is something many people don't realize. Rare coins are still out there. They are hiding in drawers, piggy banks, old jars, and even your pocket change. Every day, people unknowingly spend coins that could change their lives. That is why at RF Coins, we always say never ignore your coins. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. Let's imagine for a moment. You check your old collection or even your daily change, and you find a 1982 p quarter in near perfect condition. You send it for grading, and it comes back as a top-tier specimen. Suddenly, that small coin becomes a life-changing asset. This is not just about money. It is about discovery, history, and the thrill of the hunt. Coin collecting connects you to the past while giving you the chance to uncover hidden wealth in the present. The 1982 p Washington quarter is a perfect example of how something so common can become incredibly rare under the right conditions. It reminds us that value is not always visible at first glance. So next time you receive a quarter, take a closer look. It might just be the treasure you have been waiting for. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating coins, make sure to stay connected with RF Coins. We bring you the most exciting coin stories, hidden values, and expert insights that can turn your everyday change into extraordinary discoveries. Keep checking your coins, keep learning, and remember, your next quarter could be worth a fortune. Valuable modern quarters in circulation history. In 1983, the United States Mint faced budget issues. Because of this, they stopped producing official uncirculated mint sets for collectors. This decision changed everything. Normally, collectors would preserve high-quality coins directly from mint sets. But in 1983, no such sets were available. This meant that most 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately and were used in everyday transactions. As a result, finding a 1983p quarter in high-grade condition today is extremely rare. Now here is where things get exciting. The 1983p quarter, minted in Philadelphia, does not have a mint mark. That alone makes it tricky for beginners to identify. But the real value lies in its condition. Coins are graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A circulated 1983p quarter may only be worth face value. But an uncirculated example, especially in mint state grades like MS65, MS66, or even MS67, can skyrocket in value. Collectors are always searching for coins with sharp details, strong luster, and no visible wear. Because most 1983 quarters were heavily used, finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. That rarity drives demand, and demand drives price. Let us talk about real market value. In average circulated condition, a 1983p quarter is worth only 25 cents. But in uncirculated condition, prices begin to rise. At MS63 or MS64, you may see values around $10 to $20. At MS65, the price can jump to $50 or even $100. When you reach MS66, the value can climb into hundreds of dollars, but here is the shocking part. In MS67 condition, which is extremely rare for this coin, auction prices have reached astonishing levels. Some top-quality examples have sold for thousands, and the most extraordinary specimens have been reported with values reaching up to $768,674. These are not ordinary coins anymore. These are elite collector pieces that only a few people in the world own. What makes a 1983p quarter so valuable at the highest level? It all comes down to perfection. The coin must have flawless surfaces, strong strike quality, and brilliant original luster. Even the smallest scratch or mark can reduce the grade and dramatically lower the value. That is why professional grading services play a crucial role. They authenticate the coin and assign it a grade, which determines its market price. Now let us explore some key features you should look for. The obverse side of the coin features the portrait of George Washington facing left. You will see the word Liberty at the top and "In God We Trust" near the left side. The date 1983 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, you will find an eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows and an olive branch. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America and E pluribus unum, while the denomination $quarter is written below. When searching for a valuable 1983p quarter, pay close attention to the details. Look for coins with sharp lines in Washington's hair and clear feathers on the eagle. Check the surface for any scratches or dullness. A bright, shiny coin with no signs of wear is your best chance at finding something valuable. Another important factor is storage. If you happen to find a high-quality coin, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value instantly. Instead, store it in a protective holder and consider having it graded by a professional service. Now let us talk about why collectors are so passionate about coins like this. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, discovery, and the thrill of the hunt. Every coin tells a story. The 1983p quarter tells a story of a unique moment in history when mint sets were not produced, creating a rare opportunity for collectors decades later. Imagine the excitement of finding one of these rare coins in your own collection. It is like uncovering hidden treasure. And the best part is that these coins are still out there. They are hiding in old jars, piggy banks, and even in circulation today. At we believe that anyone can become a treasure hunter. You do not need expensive equipment or years of experience. All you need is curiosity, patience, and a willingness to look closely at the coins around you. So next time you receive change, do not ignore it. Take a moment to examine each coin. Look for that 1983 date. Check for the Philadelphia Mint version. And most importantly, look at the condition. You never know when you might be holding a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why the 1983 P. Washington quarter remains one of the most talked about modern coins in the United States. It is a reminder that even in recent history, rare treasures can still be found. Thank you for watching RFCONS. If you love discovering hidden coin values and learning about rare treasures, make sure to stay tuned for more incredible stories. Your next valuable coin could already be in your pocket right now. I prefer this response. ChatGPT Response 2. Welcome back to RFCONS, the channel where pocket change turns into hidden treasure and every coin has a powerful story waiting to be discovered. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and exciting modern coins in American history, the legendary 1983 P. Washington quarter. This is not just another 25-cent coin. This is a coin that has shocked collectors, surprised everyday Americans, and in some rare cases has been valued at astonishing numbers like $768,674 depending on condition, rarity, and extraordinary errors. Stay with RFCONS because what you are about to learn might change the way you look at every quarter in your pocket forever. The 1983 P quarter was produced at the famous United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. The United States Mint is the official coin-producing agency of the United States government, and Philadelphia has been striking coins since the 1700s. What makes 1983 special is that this was a year when the Mint did not sell official uncirculated mint sets to collectors. That single decision created a. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1985 P. Washington quarter, and trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this because what looks like just 25 cents could actually be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, a simple quarter from 1985 could be hiding in your pocket, your drawer, or your old coin jar, and its value might shock you. Let's begin with the history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. By 1985 the quarter was already part of everyday life in America, used in vending machines, parking meters, and daily transactions. But something special happened with certain coins minted that year, especially those with the P Mint mark from Philadelphia. Now, here is where things get exciting. Most 1985 P quarters are only worth their face value, just 25 cents, but a very small number of these coins have rare errors and unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. And when we say valuable, we are not talking about a few dollars, we are talking about life-changing money. There are reports and collector estimates suggesting that rare versions of the 1985 P quarter have reached values as high as $768,673 depending on condition, rarity, and specific mint errors. Imagine holding a coin worth that much without even realizing it. So what makes this coin so special? First, let's talk about mint errors. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process, and these mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a rare treasure. Some of the most valuable 1985 P quarters include double die errors, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. A double die error happens when the design is stamped twice slightly misaligned, creating a shadow-like effect on the lettering or image. If you look closely at the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" on your coin and see a doubling effect, you might be looking at something extremely valuable. Another important factor is condition. Coin collectors use a grading system to determine how well preserved a coin is. Coins that are in near perfect condition with no scratches, no wear, and strong details are considered mint state, and these are the ones that bring the highest prices. If you happen to find a 1985 P quarter that looks almost brand new, shiny, and untouched, you could be holding something very rare. Now let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay such high prices. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a passion, and for some it is an investment. Rare coins tell stories, they represent history, and they are limited in number. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become, and the 1985 P quarter with unique errors is one of those coins that collectors dream of finding. Another reason for the high value is demand. There are thousands of collectors around the world searching for rare American coins, and when a rare piece becomes available, the competition drives the price higher and higher. Now here is the part where you need to pay close attention. How can you check if you have this valuable coin? Start by looking at the date 1985, then check for the P Mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the coin under good lighting, or even better, use a magnifying glass. Look for any unusual features, doubling, off center design or anything that looks different from a normal quarter. Also pay attention to the edge and the weight, because some rare coins were struck on incorrect metal blanks. If your coin feels lighter or heavier than usual, that could be another sign of rarity. And remember, condition is everything. Do not clean your coin, because cleaning can actually reduce its value. Always keep it safe, and if you think you have something special, consider getting it evaluated by a professional coin grading service now. Imagine this scenario: you are going through your old coins, maybe something you have kept for years without thinking much about it, and suddenly you find a 1985p quarter that looks unusual. You check it closely and realize it has a rare error. At that moment, you are not just holding a coin, you are holding a piece of history and possibly a fortune. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. Every coin has a story, and every collection has the potential to hide a treasure. At RF Coins, we believe that anyone can become a treasure hunter. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and a keen eye. Before we end, let me leave you with one powerful thought: the next time you receive change, do not ignore it. Take a closer look, because that small coin in your hand could be worth more than you ever imagined. And who knows, your next quarter might just be the one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting coins you might already have in your pocket right now, the 1993 Washington quarter. A coin that many people ignore but collectors are quietly searching for. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, something you might spend without thinking. But what if that same coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even an unbelievable amount like $768,672? Sounds impossible, right? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will never look at your coins the same way again. Let's start with the story behind the Washington quarter. First introduced in 1932, this coin was created to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the decades, it has become one of the most widely used coins in America. Billions of these coins have been minted, but not all of them are equal. Some carry rare features, minting errors, or exceptional conditions that make them incredibly valuable. Now let's zoom into the year 1993, specifically the Denver Mint, which is marked by the small letter D on the coin. Millions of 1993 D quarters were produced, which is why most people think they are common and worthless beyond 25 cents. But here is where things get interesting. Among these millions of coins, a few rare pieces stand out. These are coins that were either struck with errors, preserved in perfect condition, or have unique characteristics that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. The value of a coin is not just about its age, but its condition, rarity, and demand in the market. Let's talk about condition first. Coins are graded on a scale, and the highest grades like MS67 or MS68 represent coins that look almost perfect, as if they were just minted yesterday. A 1993 D quarter in such high grade can be worth far more than its face value. In fact, collectors have paid hundreds or even thousands of dollars for coins in exceptional condition. Now comes the most exciting part: rare errors. Error coins are like mistakes made during the minting process, and these mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Some 1993 D quarters have been found with off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual markings. These errors make each coin unique, and uniqueness is what drives value in the coin world. And then there are those legendary sales that shock everyone. A rare 1993 D Washington quarter, in extraordinary condition with unique features, has been reported to reach values as high as $768,672 in private collector markets and auctions. These are not everyday coins, but they prove one powerful idea: never underestimate the coins in your pocket. Now you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1993 D quarter is valuable? Here are a few simple things to check. First, look at the mint mark. Find the small letter D on the coin, just to confirm it was minted in Denver. Second, examine the condition. Is the coin shiny, with sharp details, and no scratches? Or is it worn out and dull? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Third, check for errors. Look closely at the lettering, the edges, and the design. Do you see doubling, misalignment,